Hi, welcome back. So we're in Chapter 3, HCCV01 project at the outline workflow of the project. Now, to carry on the process, as previously we have created our H5 module, and we are ready now to go to the technicality of creating the GUI and actually the backend of our program. Now, that's why I'm going to move to the visual code where we have explored the details and why we actually we want an IDE to carry on the workflow. As I said before, I like to create a main folder that carry the entire things within it. Inside that, I could work on number of virtual environment, each one of them actually specified to be for a specific version of Python in case if I'm working on multiple of them. As we said, one of the advantages of using VS Code and the convenient way, creating multiple PowerShell terminal, this is something really powerful. Sometimes I like to create some of them. For example, this will be to execute the main program. This is some other scripts individually instead of calling the main execution of the Python files. So we need virtual environment. How to create virtual environment? I'm not gonna give you too much of documentation on it, but I have installed, for example, 2 versions of Python on the C directly. This is the way I like to install. You might install somewhere, and I like to install them for or within the capacity of the user itself, not a global effect on the system. So if I want to go through the details here, you would see that there are 2 folders. One is Python 3.11 and one is Python 3.12. And now I am inside the Python 3.11, where the actual folder contain Python of this version is in here. So basically I could just reach out to Python, and this is the shell. Why is that important? Because this is where to create my virtual environment. So I go to which version of Python I would like to create virtual environment for. Here is I'm gonna use Python 3.11, for example. Just call the Python and -m, and then I could say v environment or virtual environment, and then you create here the path where you would like the Python to create plus the name. Now basically if I get back to the other shell, this is the powerful things here. Now I am inside this folder and inside it I want to create the virtual environment. So basically if I want to go with printing the current working directory, I have this is the path. Copy that path literally just like so, and go back here and say, well, and I want to name it, for example, env 3.11, since I'm working on that. If it's a 3.12, then it's 3.12. If it's whatsoever. There are many options. The point is that once you create your virtual environment, that's it. Now, I am inside this, the VS Code folder, and actually you could see that I have 2 virtual environment, one for 3.12, one for 3.11. I have to activate one of them. I could activate in 2 different PowerShell, sometimes shift here, sometimes shift there, but depends what you install. So basically, I'm going to activate the 3.11. So how to activate that on Windows, because I'm using PowerShell. So as simple as just going to the folder name, which is 3.11, and then visit the scripts, and then finally say activate, and that's it. Now I am actually active on a 3.11 environment. If you like to activate on the other one, just to follow the same. Now inside the HCC project, this is where we're gonna be looking at the actual structure, what that would look like, and why it is important to have a structure in general once you work on a project. If you would like to deploy this project as a software, you have to be very careful and standard with the industrial standard. Now, these elements are as recommended by packaging Python application for desktop purpose especially. So basically you have here your main project, and then you have another folder called tests. Sometimes you need some script just to test them. And then you have the CLI.py. And then you have the license. Yeah, you can choose one of the available license, or you can whatsoever license are in there. So I have chosen the standard license of MIT license. And then you have the PyProject TOML, which is basically just tell you information about the project, what kind of project you are dealing with. And of course the README It's quite important to write some instructions about the use, if it is an application with prepaid or trials whatsoever. And finally, I like to create the requirements.txt. Now, the requirement.txt, basically, it's as simple as looking at the actual libraries and packages that I'm going to use. But this is the main skeleton of any project. Now, what is inside this CLI? It's just 2 lines of a code. First of all, I would like to reach to the main project, and I would like to import the main module and execute whatever within the main code. Now, in the following session, we're going to be discuss actually what is module in Python in general and what's the structure we'd like to work on. But before that, I think it's better to talk about the designs, the way I like to work. Let's talk about the design before we even touch on the technicality of the backend. That's exactly what we're going to be doing next. I will see you then.